What if the biggest generational debate wasn't about politics, money, or even music, but about something far more personal, childhood itself? Think about it. Was life better when you had to wait all week for Saturday morning cartoons? When your biggest stress was whether your Tamagotchi would survive recess? Or is it better now, when teenagers carry the entire world in their pockets? This question sparks endless debates because both sides believe they had the true golden age. But who's right? Today we're diving into a generational showdown. 90s kids versus today's teens, and by the end of this video, you just might change the way you see your own childhood. The 1990s were often described as the last great unplugged decade. Childhood meant racing outside until the streetlights came on, blowing into Nintendo cartridges when they refused to work, and arguing over which VHS tape to rent at Blockbuster. Fast forward to today, and the picture looks radically different. Teens live in a world of constant notifications, instant TikTok fame, and video games so realistic they blur the line between fantasy and reality. At first glance, it seems like a simple comparison: nostalgia versus modern convenience. But here's the twist: each side secretly envies the other. To find out who really had it better, let's step into both worlds side by side. Entertainment is where the contrast hits hardest. For 90s kids, cartoons were sacred but limited. Miss an episode of Rugrats or Power Rangers? Too bad. You waited for reruns. The thrill was in the anticipation, the countdown until Saturday morning. Video games were pixelated, frustrating, and strangely addictive. Anyone who ever tried to keep their Game Boy alive with dying AA batteries knows the pain and the joy of one last lucky round of Pokemon Red. Now, compare that with today's endless buffet of options. Netflix drops entire seasons overnight. YouTube never sleeps, and TikTok feeds refresh endlessly. Teens never run out of things to watch or play. But here's the question: does infinite choice really make life better, or did 90s kids have more fun because scarcity made every show and every game feel special? Psychologists suggest too many options can actually reduce satisfaction. Maybe, just maybe, less really was more. And then there's technology. The 90s gadgets were clunky, quirky, and unforgettable. Tamagotchis beeped like needy digital pets. Walkmans chewed up cassette tapes, and dial-up internet made that screeching tone no one can forget. If you wanted to call your best friend, you memorized their landline number and prayed their dad didn't answer first. For today's teens, technology is seamless. Smartphones are lifelines: music, movies, friends, and the internet all in one. A FaceTime call connects you across oceans in seconds, and TikToks reach millions before you can blink. Did clunky tech actually teach 90s kids skills teens today might be missing? Think about it: patience, problem solving, even resilience. Waiting 3 hours for a single LimeWire song download, only to discover it was mislabeled, was painful, but it built a strange kind of grit. Freedom is another battleground. 90s kids tell stories of roaming neighborhoods unsupervised, biking without helmets, knocking on friends' doors unannounced. Parents said be home by dark and that was enough. Today's teens, their lives are tracked by GPS apps, supervised by security cameras, and shaped by constant stranger danger warnings. On one hand, they're safer than ever. On the other, many argue they've lost the wild, unstructured freedom that defined 90s childhood. So here's the trade-off: safety or independence? Which would you choose? Social life reveals another twist. In the 90s, friendship was analog. You passed folded notes in class, arranged meetups by landline, and maybe if your family was fancy, chatted on AOL Instant Messenger. Bullying happened, but when you got home, it usually ended at the school gate. Now, teens live in an always-on social loop. Friendships unfold across Snap streaks, Instagram likes, and TikTok collabs, but conflicts never sleep either. Cyberbullying can follow a teen into their bedroom, glowing on their screen at midnight. So who had it better? The deeper, face-to-face bonds of the 90s or the instant, global connections of today? When it comes to struggles, every generation claims theirs were harder. 90s kids stressed about forgetting locker combinations, flunking math quizzes, or keeping their Furby from acting possessed. But overall, life moved slower. Today's teens juggle cyberbullying, rising academic competition, and the crushing pressure of being always online. Surveys show higher rates of anxiety and depression in teens now than in the 90s. Yet here's the quirky truth: each generation underestimates the other's stress. Maybe the reality is that childhood has always been tough, it just wears a different mask in every decade. Culture, though, is where nostalgia glows brightest. For 90s kids, memories are tied to tangible things: the smell of Blockbuster on Friday nights, the sticky feel of Pokemon cards, the chorus of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. These artifacts stitched a generation together. Today's teens, meanwhile, live in a whirlwind of viral culture, TikTok dances, Marvel premieres, YouTube stars, memes that flash and vanish in days. Their culture is faster, more digital, and harder to preserve. Will Gen Z and Gen Alpha look back on TikTok with the same warm nostalgia 90s kids feel for Nickelodeon slime? Only time will tell. So who really had the better childhood? 90s kids had patience, freedom, and memories you could literally hold in your hands. Today's teens have connection, convenience, and opportunities that 90s kids couldn't even dream of. Maybe the answer isn't about who had it better, but about how each generation had something uniquely magical and something uniquely difficult. And now, the debate is yours. If you grew up in the 90s, what's the one memory that defines your childhood? And if you're a teen today, what do you think makes your era unbeatable? Drop your answers in the comments, because this is one generational showdown we can only settle together. And don't forget, if you enjoyed this nostalgic trip through time, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss a story that brings the past and present face to face. Because whether you're a 90s kid or a teen today, one truth remains: childhood memories, no matter the decade, never truly disappear.